Hola, buenos días chicos y chicas. Esta mañana, pues hoy es jueves, el 14 de mayo, y esta clase es Español 2. Make sure you're watching the Spanish 2 video, not the Spanish 1 video, Español 2. Estoy hablando un poco en voz baja porque estoy en mi sótano y mi compañera de casa está en cama todavía. So if you didn't catch that, I'm speaking a little bit quieter because I'm in the basement this morning and my roommate, the housemate, is still durmiendo. Bueno, chicos, progress reports, you made it through that. Good job, you guys. You've been submitting lots of work, so keep it up. Try to get things in a timely manner. Por favor, lo apreciaría. I would appreciate it muchísimo. ¿Y cómo están ustedes? How you guys doing today? I wish I could actually get an answer from you, pero hoy, pues por la tarde, en la tarde, a las 2:30, yo tengo con ustedes, si quieren venir, tengo horas de oficina en WebEx, hoy a las 2:30. Entonces, los estudiantes que quieren venir a la reunión a las 2:30, ustedes están invitados, por supuesto. Ayer tuve una reunión de WebEx con mi periodo 6 de Español 1 y anteayer con periodo 5 y vinieron 3, 4, 5 personas, es normal, ¿no? Y hablamos de cosas que no tienen mucho que ver con español, hablamos simplemente de cosas de la vida. Entonces, si ustedes quieren venir a la reunión de WebEx hoy a las 2:30, ustedes tienen el enlace. You should already have that link. I sent it last night. Lo mandé anoche. Bueno, la gramática de este capítulo de Unidad 5.1, la primera cosa son mandatos. So mandatos, think about that word in English, what a mandate is. Some of you guys remember this from last year, and we've talked a little bit about it this year. So last year and earlier this year, actually, we talked about the to commands, how you tell somebody your own age that you would speak in the to form to, how to tell them to do something. Like, open the door for me. Abre la puerta para mí. Or ábreme la puerta. Something like, I don't know, share your sandwich with me. Comparte tu sandwich conmigo. Those are the to commands. What we're going to learn today, you guys, are the mandatos de usted y ustedes. These are the usted and ustedes commands. So remember, again, commands are just when you're telling somebody to do something, and it doesn't have to be like, do this or I'll kill you, or your mom going, clean your room or I'll kill you. It could be simply, get the door for me, write this down, look at this. Could even be just, oh wow, take a look at this. Look at this when you're sharing a photo with somebody. That's a command because you're telling them to do something, even though it doesn't have to sound like a command. Come here, I've got a fun video game to play with you. I don't know, random. So those are commands, right? The usted and the ustedes commands, think about that. You're going to use an usted command. If you were talking to me, you'd use the usted command, somebody that you speak in the usted form with. So if you wanted to say, Miss Street, repeat that if you could. I didn't understand that. Repita eso, por favor. Repita. Now think about that. We're going to get into that. The commands that you guys hear most of all in class are the ustedes commands, because that would make sense. You guys, ustedes. So you hear me saying things like, chicos, escuchen, listen up. Escriban esto, please write this down. Saquen sus libretas, take out your notebooks. Now, hablando de saquen las libretas, por favor, saquen sus libretas. Right now, make sure you have your notebook with you because you're going to be writing some things down. Y por favor, háganlo. Make sure you do this because it's good practice. So don't just sit there and watch this. No simplemente miren el video. Saquen sus libretas. Tengan, make sure you have una pluma o un lápiz para escribir because you're going to be writing in just a little bit. Not at the beginning, you don't have to. So this is what happens. Usted and ustedes commands are really interesting. They actually do the opposite thing that you would think they should do based on the original verb. And by the way, this is all on page 259, la página 259 en sus libros. 259, 259. So I've taken some notes from there. There's going to be a lot of words on the screen here in a minute. You can look at your book later, but just take a look right now. I'll try to read it from the side. It might be a little tricky, but usted and usted commands, right? So to tell someone to do or not to do something, because you can have negative commands. Hello, still here? Hola. You can have negative commands like don't do that. No toquen eso, don't touch that, right? So to tell someone to do or not to do something, the usted and ustedes commands require a change in the verb endings. And here's how. So a change, and you're going to see that change in just a minute. It's kind of a radical change, something you may not have thought about. So here's what happens. Again, you don't have to write this down yet. So you form the usted and ustedes commands with the yo form first. You have to go to the yo form of the present tense. And trust me on that. You have to go to the yo form first, and then you drop the o. You get rid of it. So if you had an infinitive, and then you add the ending over here. But if you had an infinitive like, sorry about that, like estudiar, I wanted to tell you to study. Here's your verb, estudiar, right there where my finger is. Sorry guys, estudiar. And if you come down here, you go to the yo form, which is estudio, right? You guys can see it. You get rid of the o, and then you add the ending of an e. You add an e ending, estudie, right? So you go to estudio, drop the o, and then you add an e, estudie, usted, or if I'm talking to you guys, estudien. So what's nice about usted and ustedes commands is they're the same. You just add an n to the ustedes. What happens though is, because that's an AR verb, estudiar, you add the opposite ending. This is so weird, right? You add an ER ending, so you get estudie and estudien. For escribir, now that's an IR verb, right? That's your second one down, escribir. You go to the yo form, escribo, drop the O, you add the opposite ending. It's an IR verb, so now you add an AR ending. So you get escriba. Trippy, right? And then escriban for ustedes. Comer, your last verb on the page. Comer is an ER verb. So you go to the yo form, como. That's present tense, right? Como. Drop the O, add the opposite ending as well. You get coma and coman. So ER and IR verbs, so these two, ER and IR verbs, take AR endings when you get over here, right? Opposite. And AR verbs, estudiar, go to the yo form, and then you add an ER ending. So it's contrary to what you would think you should do, unless you already know the commands, and then you're like, oh, it's instinctive, right? And it will become instinctive at some point. But think about the ones that I use with you in class. Those are the ustedes. Bueno, so let me show you a couple of examples. So if I said, hey, study for the test, and if I were to use the usted command, I'm trying to think of a case where you would use this. I don't know, you could tell me, say I was taking a class. Like when I go to Spain, cuando voy a España, I'm going to take a French class. Voy a tomar una clase de francés. And if you guys were to see me on the streets of Spain walking around, this would be weird, walk around the corner and go, oh, it's Miss Street. Oh, study for the test, Miss Street, study your French, otherwise you're going to flunk. It'd be weird. That's a weird scenario, but this is what you would say. Here's the yo form, here's the command. Estudie, señorita Street, para el examen. You could use this one if I told you guys to study estudien para el examen. Again, you've gone to the yo form instinctively in your mind, estudio, you drop the O, you add the opposite ending. AR verbs take E and EN, and ER and IR verbs take A and AN. Weird, rarísimo. If you wanted to tell me to write something, write a good paragraph for your French class, Miss Street, otherwise you're going to flunk. Escriba un párrafo bueno para la clase de francés. Or if I were telling you guys to write something, escriban, right? Escriban. If you wanted to tell me to eat your vegetables, Miss Street, otherwise you're going to be unhealthy and fat. Coma sus verduras, or coman sus verduras is what I would use with you guys. Interesante, no? By the way, in the back of me, you see, I love globes. Tengo un globo de la tierra, y tengo una foto aquí de mi hermano y de mí hace muchos años, it's from so many years ago, y aquí es mi sótano. Aquí es donde toco mis instrumentos, ¿no? Y leo también, porque ustedes pueden ver un poco del sótano Tengo un sofá y muchas mochilas. Lots of other stuff down here. Sorry, I'm trying to show you the poster of Sacramento. Someday we'll get out and actually see the Tower Bridge again, right? Y luego en el sótano here in the basement, I also have mis instrumentos, but what you have to see right now. So here's where you're going to practice. Ustedes van a practicar. But if I were going to give you a command and not say you guys are going to practice, I'd say practice, practiquen, right? So have your libretas out, tengan abiertas, have them open. Abran sus libretas, think about that command. Abran, the verb is abrir, right? It's an IR verb. So I'm going to instinctively go to the yo form, abro, get rid of the O, and add the opposite ending, abra, na. So it's abra, that sounds weird. Anyway, what I've done, make sure I've got the right one next. Yes, here we go. So I've done the first one for you. So what you're going to do, and you can pause here after you write these down. I'll keep them up on the screen for a minute. You've got the verb pasar. I've done the first one. You're going to go to the O form and get paso, paso. You're going to take off the O. You can put a slash through the O. Then you're going to go to the yo form, the usted command, pase. Remember, it's an AR verb, so you're going to add the opposite ending, pase. And the ustedes would be pasen. So quickly, you guys, if you could, write down, don't write the answers just yet, just write the verbs. Aprender, right, to learn. Salir, and notice salir has an asterisk by it. There's a particular reason. I want to see if you guys can figure that out. Salir, and so does the next one. Dormir has an asterisk. So something special is going to happen here that I want you to instinctively figure out. Luego pagar and sacar. So you have the commands learn, leave, sleep, pay, and take out. And I want you to have the 3 blanks because you're going to do the yo form, the usted form, and then the ustedes form. And I'm going to keep going here in just a second, but you can pause it. Ustedes pueden hacer clic en el botón de pausar y ustedes van a escribir. Escriban, please write out las respuestas, write out the answers. So you're pausing, and I'm going to keep talking because once you unpause, this is what you're going to see. But I'm not going to let you see the answers until you pause the button. I wish I could see. This is going to sound creepy, but kidding. I wish I could see into your houses and know who's actually writing. Charlie, ¿estás escribiendo? Sofía, Ellie, Ella, super 8, Wendy, okay, weird. Anyway, escriban, write your answers. And here are the answers. Yes, they are. You better not have cheated or you won't go too far. I made that up on the spot, and you could probably tell. You could tell. Okay, here's what they should have looked like, you guys. So for aprender, the yo form is aprendo. You get rid of the O, and you get aprenda. You add the opposite ending, is the A, aprenda. And you guys learn your verbs, learn your commands. Aprendan sus mandatos, your mandates. Now, salir, I wonder how many of you guys caught this. The yo form isn't salgo, right? It's salgo. You have a G in it. So you get salgo with the O, and then you add the opposite ending, and you get salga and salgan. So leave. Get out of here. Salga, señorita Street. Oh, you're driving me crazy. Salgan ustedes. Get out of here, you guys. You're driving me crazy. Now, dormir. If you were telling somebody to sleep. And by the way, I'm kind of making fun of these, of course, because why not? But if you were telling somebody to sleep well tonight, have a good night's sleep well. You haven't been sleeping well. In the usted form, you would say, well, let's go to the yo form first. Remember, the yo form goes to duermo. It's an O to UE verb. This is why you have to go to the yo form first. Because if you don't, and you just think, dormir, I just add the opposite endings. Dorman. Yeah, dorman. Sounds like a doorman, right? And it's not a doorman. Duerman. So you have to go to the yo form. You get duermo. And then you add the opposite endings. Duerma. The En is the opposite for an IR verb. You have an AR ending, and duerman. How are you guys doing? ¿Cómo hacen? Nobody cheated, right? Nate? No. ¿Quién más? There's so many of your names, I can't list them all. Alice? Okay, keep going straight. Bueno, luego tenemos pagar. So the yo form, the yo form is pago. But what happens here is it's not a stem changing verb, but when you add the e, if you didn't add a u in there, pague, if you didn't add the u, that's why I've got that kind of squiggly line under there, then you get paje. And you want to retain the just sound, the g sounds, right? Pagar, it's not pajar, right? So you'd instinctively have to go, oh, that rule that we learned with the preterite, where you change to gu and qu, it applies here too on the commands. So pague and paguen with the gu. These are easier to forget, so work hard on those. And then the last one too, you have sacar, right? So the yo form saco. Then you're going to go to the usted form, and it's an AR verb, so you want to add an E, right? But if you didn't add the QU to make it sake or saken, then you're going to end up with sase and sasen. It's weird, so you have to remember that. I didn't include a ZAR verb in here. I should have done that. So a verb like empezar, like if I said start the test. Empiecen el examen. That's you guys, empiecen. You'd have to have a CEN in there and not a Z. And that's the same rule again that applies to the preterite tense verbs, right? The cargar verbs. You have to remember that notion when you get to the commands. So how'd you guys do? ¿Cómo hicieron? ¿Bien? Bueno, practiquen. I'll give you as many commands as I can here, right? Practiquen mucho con estos verbos porque son un poco difíciles. Hagan su tarea. Hagan, right? Because hacer, the yo form is hago. So then the usted form would be hagan. Hagan su tarea a tiempo. Make sure you do your homework on time when I post it today. Duerman bien. Get good sleep, you guys. Duerman bien porque yo sé que ustedes están cansados, estresados, etcétera, etcétera, ¿no? Entonces, duerman bien. Coman bien, porque siempre es importante comer comida saludable, pero aún más ahora durante el virus maldito, or cursed virus, right? Debemos comer bien, entonces coman bien. Mantengan en contacto, stay in contact, mantengan en contacto con sus amigos y conmigo, por favor. Tengan paciencia con todo. Be patient with everything that's happening right now. Have patience. Tengan paciencia. Y podría pensar en muchos más. I could probably come up with muchos más, pero voy a parar aquí, ¿no? Y por favor, vengan, one last one, vengan a las horas de oficina hoy en WebEx si ustedes quieren, porque es opcional. Y sepan que los quiero. Know that I love you guys. Y, ¿saben qué? One thing I did not include in today's video because I wanted to keep it short. Hay unos verbos irregulares en los mandatos. Of course, there's no way you could get out of this ever without having some irregular verbs, right? Los verbos irregulares. So there are a group of them, and they are on that same page, 279. Those you'll have to learn on your own. Just memorize them, and I'll have you write these down in your libretas coming up soon. The irregular ones, los irregulares. Things like sepan, vayan. Okay, so there's a few of those that you need to write down and memorize, memorizar. Memoricen esos verbos. So don't forget about the irregulares that I did not cover today. Bueno, chicos, how can I end this? Como Ellen. So Ellen always says, be kind to one another, right? So sean, that's one of your irregular ones too. Sean amables con todos y